Happy Sunday, everyone. So today we'll be going over my favorite type of cleaning device that I bought from B&H Photo. That is the Delkin Devices SensorScope cleaning kit. Now, this cleaning kit has all the bells and whistles that I would normally use to clean my DSLR, which is my EOS 1DX Mark II. And from what I gather, from what I have experienced for the past 6 months, is that this cleaning kit lasted more than just 6 months, but I still have plenty of wands left over. I still have the ability to still use this, and the batteries in which I use and the battery pack still last me that long. Now granted, I don't always clean my 1DX Mark II all the time, but whenever I do, this cleaning kit is ready and available for me and can do the job pretty well. Now there's some downsides. If you ever cleaned your sensor on your DSLR or mirrorless camera, you notice that if you use the wand twice, the same tip twice, it leaves some sort of residue. Well, from the previous ones I have used are a little bit more expensive. I could use it probably 2 swipes, 3 swipes, and it'd be just fine and didn't leave much of any or all residue. Now, the ones that Delkin Devices provides does in fact leave a residue if you use it more than once. Now, it does recommend in the packet that you only use it for 1 swipe and 1 swipe only. However, if you go on B&H Photo and look at other wands that they provide, some of the more high-end brands do in fact work more than once. So you don't just have 1 swipe go and you just used up your wand. You can save money in some ways by buying the more expensive ones. But for the packet that you get with the Delkin Devices SensorScope, yes, it does work pretty well, and it is more bang for your buck, if that makes sense. Now, one of the issues I have with the Delkin device is the sensor bulb air blower. Well, the air blower doesn't really work that well, but the vacuum itself does work. I noticed the first one I bought, it just didn't cut it. It didn't suck anything. It did not do the job right. And I called them up and asked, hey, can I have another one? And the customer service were over there at Delkin Devices actually responded pretty quickly to my concern, and they went ahead and sent me a new one, and this new one does the job very, very well. It doesn't cause any damage to my sensor or camera. Now, be careful whenever you use this sensor vac. Do not allow this tip to touch the sensor. It can cause possible scratching. It is very, very coarse, and I don't think you want to risk damaging the sensor just to vacuum a few pieces of lint or dust. Just use the wand as it illustrates in the manual and go from there. Now, one thing I do like a lot about this SensorScope is the fact that it is lightweight, and it feels very, very durable in the hands and very comfortable in the hands. It's very, very simple to use. You just turn on the LEDs and then focus down on your sensor, and it works just fine. And you can see there's no icing the entire scope very, very easily, or entire sensor very, very easily, and it does the job pretty well. It takes some time to get used to, because you have to not only place it on the sensor, the entrance of your camera, but also you have to look upwards and downwards to be able to see the entire range of your sensor. If you have a full frame, of course you will see it to look a bit more around the area to be able to pinpoint all the specks and dust you have on the sensor. Now, if it's a crop sensor, like I have a 7D Mark II, and that 7D Mark II, I could see the entire sensor very, very easily with this SensorScope. If you have a medium format camera, it's a very large sensor, so I do recommend buying a different SensorScope for the medium format, just so that you can see the entire sensor without having to finagle the SensorScope around. So I do not recommend buying this SensorScope unless you have a Hasselblad, Fujifilm medium or any other medium format camera. The sensor is just way too big, and I think they may have SensorScopes out there that are more tailored towards medium format. So if you're looking into getting a very cost-effective SensorScope and kit, I don't recommend Delkin Devices SensorScope for that. But if you have a crop sensor, or APS-C sensor, full frame, even down to micro four thirds, definitely reach out and definitely see if you can get this Delkin Devices SensorScope, because it is worth the money, and it's worth putting in your camera bag in case you need it, if you ever need it. The battery pack is actually quite awesome. So you put some batteries in there and it powers the sensor back very, very well. But beyond that, I give this out of 5 stars. I definitely give this a 4 out of 5, primarily because it's cost effective, and secondly, the customer service is actually quite good. I mean, they actually responded quickly and effectively, and they addressed my concerns without delay. Thirdly, of course, one of my favorite parts is that it's very, very durable equipment. Beyond that, that's all I got for this Delkin Devices SensorScope kit, cleaning kit. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment below, as well as subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice Sunday and have a nice week.